What is going on, everybody? Nasdorachi coming back at you again tonight for another episode for Dragon Ball Legends, and of course we will be talking about the brand new Super Saiyan 4 units that will be coming to the game in less than 24 hours. Now at this point, we did receive plenty more information about them today, you guys, so we are going to go over that with you as well as any of the other relevant updates from the data mines we got this evening. Now, it is like 4 in the morning for me as of me recording this, so I just didn't feel like setting up a bunch of bright lights and all that, so that's why we're doing no face cam. But since we're just going to be checking out a website for the most part anyways, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So let's go ahead and bring up the interwebs here real quick, and we'll hop right into the material. So, we'll start with the summons here, and we did get 3 new summons tonight. The step up, we weren't 100% sure when it would show up, but that again will be at reset tomorrow. Tonight, we did get 3 new Zenkai Awakening banners. Now these banners will only show up if you do have the 3000 Z power, aka the 7-star limit break on your units, you guys. You will not see them in your list of summons if you are not at that limit. And basically, it costs 300 Chrono Crystals to do a multi, 10 characters worth, so a multi, but it's not characters you'll receive, it's different potential stacks of Z power. You'll see you have a 1% chance to get a stack of 70, you have a 6% chance to get a stack of 30, 20% chance to get a stack of 15, and a 73% chance to get a stack of 5. So at the bare minimum, if you roll the worst summon possible, you'll get 50 Awakening Z power for a unit. Now, just remember, it costs 1,000 per tier, and the max is 7. We can get to Zenkai level 7 as far as I'm aware. So, if you're pulling at the worst possible rates, that's what, you get 50. It would take you, 600 crystals to get 100. Times that by, yeah, it would be a lot, you guys. I don't even really feel like doing that much math this early in the morning, but you're looking at probably at a bare minimum of like, 30 to 40,000, CC if you're extremely unlucky, but it'd be more like, I don't know, 20,000 CC or so just to get that 1,000 needed to tier them up once. So the value is kind of disputable here, you guys. It's really not there unless you obviously just have lots of extra money to blow. Because with banners like the Super Saiyan 4 Step Up coming, who would want to really do a whole lot of this? I don't know, you guys. It's just very controversial right now. The community is definitely kind of divided over it, leaning more towards this not being very positive, you guys. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I was pretty sure that it wouldn't, be surprising if they tried to monetize the game in any way possible, and here is another example of that. So, again, not very good for you to be making those investments unless you get a lot of this 1% roll right here. Even then, you'd be looking at 700. If you got 10 1% rolls, which of course is almost unheard of, unlikely, but then you get 700, and then it would only take, a summon and a half. But again, the chances of that happening are slim to none, you guys. So yeah, Zenkai banners, kind of mixed impressions. I would definitely hold on to your Chrono Crystals, because we do have a dual step-up format banner incoming with the 2 new Super Saiyan 4 units, you guys. Checking out the steps here, it's pretty fundamentally similar to every other step-up we had in the game. 100, 300, 700, then 1k, 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 and then a free step at the end. Now, there is no mention of any guaranteed sparking tickets, so it doesn't seem like we'll be getting any tickets, but one of the steps is guaranteed EX or higher, and one of the steps is as well double rates. I'm not sure exactly which step is which, but you'll return to step 3 after step 7. And then, of course, the free summon at the end. So somewhere in here, EX guaranteed, probably step like 2 or 3. And then the double rates hopefully will be in one of the repeatable steps. Now, they've split up the banners so that Goku and Baby are on one, and Vegeta and Baby are on another. On the Goku banner, you will also see the LF unit, Super Vegeta. He's going to be the special unit for this banner. Of course, you'll have the new baby, the new Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the base form GT Goku, and then the new EX Goku is down here as well, whose base form also very similar to this Goku here. And then a plethora of other units, most of which are actually fairly decent until you get down to about here, where you have this Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta from Dragon Ball Super, and then below this line. I mean, some of these units are still acceptable, but there are just a lot of units on this banner. So chances are you'll get something reasonable, but I don't know, you guys. Hopefully we have some fairly decent luck. And it's a similar story on the Vegeta banner, just, you know, their own little version of that going on over there. So checking out the Vegeta banner, same price model to get through the whole situation. However, instead of Vegeta, they have the LF Namek Goku right here. You'll have some other different units, comparatively speaking. EX Broly's decent. You'll have the Super 17, just various GT units. Hyper Metal Rildo, of course, Baby, and the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta are on this banner. Now, they are not Legends Limited units, either of them two new Super Saiyan 4s, so 1% drop rate means you do not have to deal with any of these 0.25% drop rates of Legends Limited units to pick either of these guys up, you guys. So that could work out in our favor here. And then actually some of the similar units are on here. Basically from this point down, all the units were the same on both banners. It really looks like, yeah, really not too much variance from this point down where the EX Broly and the Trunks are. That being said, you guys, I will be doing the collaborative summons with Bradical, potentially Thrasher, Gokin, however we can split this up. So definitely stay tuned for when the banner goes live. We'll have a collaborative summon video up. The next thing we want to talk about before we jump into the individual characters, they will be adding the baby counter attack, like farmable event. It goes up to 51 stages. It's very similar to what we're used to. It will be dropping 2 of the new equipment items, which are quite nice for Super Saiyan 4s. We don't really have to get too much in depth with them right now, but you'll want to be farming some of this equipment for the Super Saiyan 4 units. They are decent. And then, of course, you'll be facing Baby in this one. And then level 4,500 on this one with the new level 5,000 cap. This should not be too difficult, you guys. And yeah, really there's not much else to say about that. Just kind of very typical event. We as well will be getting the Super Saiyan 4 Goku co-op boss battle. Hopefully that one will come with some actual difficult stages that are worth farming over and over again with hopefully some better rewards. They did update the shop there as well, you guys, so there's some Chrono Crystals and a couple other things to pick up from the co-op shop. From there, we can jump into checking out the new characters really quick. We're not going to spend too much time here. I don't want the video to be too long. We'll start with Vegeta here. He seems to be the most offensive out of the 3 new characters coming. And we'll put him at, you know, just 6 stars here, level 5,000. Less than 2 million health with less than 200k strike attack and 215k blast attack. Defenses are also pretty dang good. As you can see on the chart, and as I predicted from looking at the V-Jump scan the other day, he is a blast attack monster. Very, very high offensive power there. Main ability is going to be At Long Last I've Ascended. Draw Ultimate Arts card Maximum Final Flash, which 25% to damage inflicted by all allies for 20 counts, 30% to special move Awakened, and ultimate damage inflicted by all allies for 20 counts. It's very interesting that that provides a team buff. And yeah, again, this will be probably the final flash on the ult that we've seen in his little preview video. And then on his blue card, he will have the final shine, which is a little bit backwards as to what I thought it would be. But whatever, we'll run with that. It works for now, you guys. Unique ability Ultimate Super Saiyan applies the following effects to self when character enters the battlefield. 40% to his damage inflicted for 20 counts, and 40% to his blast damage inflicted for 20 counts. As well, restores his ki by 30. And this is repeatable, you guys. Anytime he enters the battlefield, he's going to have a nice set of damage buffs with the ki restore to help him just instantly start or continue a combo. And of course, the blast damage is going to favor his build, his kit. So that works out quite nicely. Red Flash applies the following effects to self when battle begins. He permanently increases his arts card draw speed by 1 level, which cannot be cancelled. That is extremely nice right there. Permanent -5 to his yellow card cost, which also cannot be cancelled. And while this character is on the battlefield, he gets 30% to damage inflicted by his next arts card, red or yellow or blue or ultimate, whenever the enemy switches characters, and that cannot be stacked. Just really, really nice offensive kit here, you guys. If he has the ability to take hits well and doesn't take too much damage, it seems like he's going to be an extremely effective unit. And both Super Saiyan 4 units, Goku and Vegeta, actually complement each other really well. He's got a unique yellow card, Blast Impact, inflicts the enemy with a tribute downgrade, plus 10% to strike damage received for 15 timer counts. This is what I was talking about. This will help out the Super Saiyan 4 Goku if you hit him with Vegeta's Blast card and end up swapping into Goku anytime in the next 15 timer counts. That enemy will take more strike damage. Now, it'll also help Vegeta cover some of his own weaknesses if you're just comboing out and using red cards in your combo. But it will, again, it'll combo nicely with the Goku, which I thought was a nice little touch. His special blue card, Final Shine Attack, Massive Impact, attribute upgrade, -30% to enemies sustained damage cut for 3 seconds, so basically for the duration of the blue card. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, 20% to blast damage received for 15 timer counts. The cover cut nullification is a nice little effect, but the enemy can swap out of this. Now, if you're down to the last character left remaining and they're stuck with this debuff, then that actually works out pretty nicely, you guys. It'll give him a nice extra little buff to his damage there. Crimson Roar on the green card, 20% to blast damage inflicted for 30 timer counts. Cancels any attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. So if he's paralyzed, he's fainted, or he has something like Rosé's debuffs on him to his stats, like the amount of damage he'll take, you can cancel all that out with the green card. It's actually the exact mirror of the Super Saiyan 4 Goku's green card. This is the blast version, and Goku has the strike version. It's kind of neat, again. Ultimate special move, the Maximum Final Flash. Massive impact damage, gain a tribute upgrade, -100% to enemies sustained damage cut. And that's for 3 seconds as well, just like his blue card. 30% chance to inflict faint on hit, so a little bit less than a 1 in 3 chance to inflict faint. Now, it is also good to note that both his blue card and his ultimate have the massive damage modifying descriptor word there, so that works out pretty nice. We already covered that his blast card is buffed right there. Wait, blast up. Oh wait, he's got an actual special card that's different. Wait, something is strange here. So maybe he has 2 separate effects going on here, you guys. That's pretty nifty right there. Again, I just noticed that, so an extra damage buff. Unless this is just awkwardly worded, he might have that extra effect there that he brings on a special card. So, again, Vegeta, very powerful. Lots of ways to stack blast damage on him on an overwhelming blast stat, just base level. So again, very effective character. He buffs 35% to GT or Vegeta family based blast attack during battle. A very nicely sized buff to the damage at the cost of it not splitting like damage and defense like you'll see on quite a few other characters. The maximum 30, almost 40% to their blast attack just by himself. It's pretty nifty right there, you guys. Hopping over to Super Saiyan 4 Goku next. Checking him out, we'll just put him at 6 stars as well here. Level 5,000, you're looking at a little over 2 million health, so more health than the Vegeta. 209k strike attack and 185k blast attack. So again, kind of like a little bit tankier, a little bit more of a sustain and melee version, comparatively speaking, to Vegeta's blast, more offensive version. It's nice how much they mirror each other here. They're going to work out real well together in a pair. You've gone too far on the main ability. Draw Ultimate Arts card Super Bombardment Fist. Restores his own ki by 50 and 25% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. So nice little buffs to damage there. And the animation on this one we saw in the preview as well. It's just that blue, like, super times 10 Kamehameha after the little energy from the palm to the face. So I kind of like the animation on this one as well here, you guys. Again, I'm super excited for both of these units. Unique ability, I'm Stronger Now, applies the following effects to self when the character enters the battlefield. 50% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, and reduces damage received by 35% for 15 timer counts. Restores his own health by 10%. So he's a little bit more tanky and a little bit more sustained with that little heal compared to Vegeta restoring ki and getting a buff to his blast damage. So again, little differences to make them unique, but similar enough where they'll work very well together again. You cannot win against me. Restores own ki by 30 every time when faced with an enemy. I'm assuming that means every time they swap. I guess that's what that means right there. Applies the following effects to self depending on the number of timer counts elapsed from battle start. After 20 timer counts, -5 to his strike arts cost, cannot be cancelled. And after 40 counts, plus 35% to damage inflicted. Vegeta just kind of gets these buffs, but Goku gets a little bit of a delay on his, but he eventually will be in the same spot that Vegeta is. For the most part. Again, strike version. Strike, sustained blast damage up. So again, this is that kind of opposite effect that'll complement the other character or this character's weaker attack stat. You'll get a tribute upgrade or a tribute downgrade to the enemy, 10% to blast damage received. And remember, Vegeta had the strike damage version of this. So again, pretty neat right there. It'll help out, again, Vegeta if you swap into him or if you're using yellow cards with the Goku. Times 10 Kamehameha deals massive impact damage, inflicts all enemies with no switching for 3 timer counts upon activation, inflicts enemy with a tribute downgrade plus 20% to strike damage received for 15 timer counts on hit. I really like this special move right here, you guys. The no switching for 3 seconds. Very similar to the blue transforming Gogeta, but you have to power the Gogetas up before it gets that effect, whereas this one, you can just use the blue card and they're locked in for 3 seconds. So I really do like that effect. It's understandable that this move is most likely not going to be teachable to Shallot because it's very, very powerful in that portion there. And of course, if the enemy's solo, this buff will be even better. They can swap out of it if they have teammates left, but it'll help out if they, if they're stuck having to endure it. Green card, again, this is the same as the Vegetas, just 20% to strike damage instead, but it'll nullify any attribute or abnormal condition downgrades that your character has. Ultimate special, Super Bombardment Fist. Massive impact damage, applies the following effects to self, 30% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 seconds, and gain a tribute upgrade minus 100% to enemies' sustained damage cut effects. So any type of cover changes will not be nearly as effective. I like it. I think it looks cool. And similar to Vegeta, he's got a strike damage modifying card, a strike card with plus 20% to strike damage inflicted for 2 timer counts when used. So these units are coming very, very powerful with these new cards with a new little buff associated to them. I feel like this is a way to as well deal with power creep, you guys. Introducing new little mechanics like this right here is definitely something we're going to have to keep our eyes on moving forward in the future. The Z ability here is going to be basically the same as Vegeta's, but instead of blast attack, it's strike attack, and it's GT and Son family instead of Vegeta family. Yep, literally identical outside of that right there, you guys. Next up here, we can check out the Super Baby, and then I guess we'll briefly look at the EX units, you guys, but I think we've run on long enough here. Now, Baby is going to be more of a support unit, but regardless, he's going to have near 200k on both of his attack stats. The strike attack a little bit less, so he is more blast focused, and 2.11 million health, so higher health than either of the Super Saiyan 4 units. I didn't actually pay too much attention to their defenses, but it looks like they're comparable, maybe a little bit higher actually. You have Evil Lust for Vengeance, 50% to all allies' health restoration for 60 timer counts, 40% to damage inflicted by ally tag GT or regeneration for 20 counts, reduces damage received by 20%. This is actually quite nice, you guys. If you're running him on a team with both Goku and Vegeta, you're looking at a pretty nice setup right here. Now remember, the Goku does have the mini heal when he swaps, and this baby has a healing passive when he swaps out, and you'll get a buff to that, 50% buff to that. So that's something that's going to help this team have even more sustain. I actually quite like that. Unique ability, A Grudge Against Saiyans, 40% of damage inflicted against Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans, which cannot be cancelled. Tuffle Science, nullifies own attribute downgrades, which cannot be cancelled, so he can never have his stats modified in a negative way, offensively or defensively. Applies the following effects to tag GT or regeneration character when he is switched to standby. Restores their health by 10%, 15% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. So again, when they swap and you've got 50% to allies health restoration, and then you're swapping around, that's going to be some reasonable numbers there, you guys. Now, incorporating that into regeneration as well, pretty much every single character except for like Slug on the regeneration team heals. Cell auto heals over time. You have the Kid Buu healing when he combos, Buhan healing on his shield, Nail heals himself and everybody else with his green card. So there's a lot of healing going on the regeneration team. So he'll be extremely effective there as well. But I'm liking this new GT tag situation. I think the worst part about the GT team right now at this point is that you need to get Super 17 to 6 stars to get his double buff. Outside of that, they're coming together pretty nicely here. Next up, we have no special effects on his cards in any type of way, so it's easy to get through that right there. Revenge Death Ball, major explode damage, inflicts enemies with a tribute downgrade, 15% to strike damage received. So similar to the effects on the Super Saiyan 4 units cards, but just not as powerful in any way really. Revenge Shot on the green card, now this is comboable, 20% to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts upon activation, and restores own ki by 35. It's pretty nice. It's actually a very good green card right there. And again, it is comboable. He does not have an ultimate arts attack, however, so that's unfortunate. If you get him to the 6-star Z ability, 35% to tag GT or tag regeneration based strike defense. So he is also just a single stat modifier, but you'll get higher numbers. I'm not sure how I feel about that. At least the defensive units, it's nice when they buff both strike and blast defense. That is it, you guys. Baby is actually quite useful. I think it's going to be quite nice to use this little healing ability in kind of a sneaky way to get a lot of health back. It's a little bit outside the box, and I'm quite fond of that. And I like the Super Saiyan 4 units a whole lot as well, you guys. Now we can briefly look at the new EX units also. I do believe they should be in the list. We have Hyper Metal Rildo here. Let's get him at a comparable level. So over 2 million health. That's more than the Super Saiyan 4s. 1.97k, 1.69. Restores ally health by 15%, 40% strike damage inflicted. Pretty decent. A little mini heal there. Robust body, reduces damage received by 50% when he cover changes, so he's more of a defensive unit. -1 to arts card draw speed level, and +2 to their substitution count. Ultimate mutant, 30% to damage received, or no, 30% to damage inflicted, sorry, for 20 timer counts when he enters the battlefield, nullifies his own abnormal conditions, 40% to own critical rate when one ally is defeated. It looks like he is definitely usable here, you guys, but potentially not optimal over from the yellow GT Vegeta. So maybe he's usable instead of that Vegeta there. Draw a strike arts card next, 20% to strike damage inflicted, bleed on one of his strike cards. GT based blast defense as his only modifier. Alright, he's nothing that stands out as being hyper amazing to me, but he's probably, you know, functional. They wouldn't release a brand new unit that's completely unusable. Strike attack, 204. Blast attack, 179. So a melee unit here. purple type. Probably not better than the Super Saiyan 4 version. Flash of Victory, 25% to damage inflicted for 40 counts. Restores on health by 20%. Alright, it's functional. Loyal Friend, 30% to damage inflicted when this character enters the battlefield. If there is a GT member other than this character, cannot be stacked. Chaos Fist applies the following effects itself every time this character uses a red or yellow card. Restores ki by 5 plus 20% to strike damage. That's funny that the yellow cards buff the strike damage also. Seems kind of like a burst damage dealing unit here. Dragon Flash, major impact, 20 strike damage, 25% of damage inflicted. Ooh, he's the health buffer for the team though. That's interesting. His Z ability will be health buffing for GT. That's actually the best feature about him, you guys, because they don't get that buff anywhere else. So that's cool, actually. Other than that, he's kind of just like a watered-down version of the Sparking base form GT Goku. From what it appears, I guess I'll just see how he performs in battle, if I can actually get my hands on him. And the last thing we had to mention were just the character's colors. Of course, Super Saiyan 4 Goku's purple. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is red. That'll be very good for the Vegeta family. Purple for Son family. It'll replace Goten, so that'll actually work out pretty well also if you feel like running that situation. However, Goten's still pretty offensively good. I'm sure this Goku will be much more defensive than the Goten, though, the LF Goten. And Vegeta is useful. It would replace the red Super Saiyan base Vegeta. And that makes sense. Although that Vegeta is still not terrible. I'm sure the damage output from this Vegeta will be so much better. And then, of course, you have the, blue Super Baby, who can run, instead of Slug, on regeneration. So it's an updated support unit that'll mix, actually, with Cell. Because the Legends Road Piccolo does not mix with Cell. I think we've gone over pretty much everything, you guys. Again, I will be doing some type of collaborative summons on this banner. I know I've kept you for a long time, nearly half an hour, with no face cam to keep you entertained, you guys. And I'm kind of tired also, so hopefully I wasn't too boring and you got through all the information with me here. Other than that, we will definitely be making summons on this banner again. I think for the third or fourth time I mentioned this now. We'll be doing some type of collaboration. So keep your eyes peeled for that, you guys. If you're new around here, consider subscribing so I can see you again on all these sweet future videos. And if you enjoy the content, again, sorry it's a little bit longer this evening, but if you enjoyed it, consider leaving a thumbs up to help spread it out. If you feel like I forgot anything, definitely let me know. Like, we covered the event here, some new equipments. Even though we didn't go over them, you should just farm them. They're both good, respectively, for each Super Saiyan 4. Yeah, new event, new co-op, new characters, collaborative summons. That's pretty much it, you guys. Keep this right under half an hour. Alright, you guys, well, that's pretty much it. We will see you on the next one very soon, you guys. I hope you do have fire luck on your summons, and hopefully I have a little bit of the same. And again, we talking to you again very soon, you guys. Peace out. Have a great day.